Hi, everybody. This is Ken Wilson. Once upon a time, I broadcast blues hockey. I always listen to Let's Go Blues Radio. It's everything you'll want as a blues fan. Oh, baby.
Are you a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues Radio listener? Of course you are. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call real estate superstar Mike Burgoyne today at 314-753-4060 or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com to earn special rates today.
Cut out the coffee, cut out those energy drinks that make you crash, and put yourself in a position to succeed with an energy boost from RockinThatIDLife.com. You'll be energized, focused, and you'll even experience an elevated mood for up to 6 hours. Check out RockinThatIDLife.com to learn more.
Get ready to hear some noise tonight. You're just seconds away from Let's Go Blues Radio.
Great goaltending. John Murphy. The twister. Jacob hits the hit. Sellout crowd. Oh, baby.
Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
Welcome to episode 17 of season 14. This is episode number 498 all time of the often imitated, never duplicated. You're in big trouble though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Let me finish the goddamn quote.
Well, it's two people talking.
And I was doing both people. We should have done this before. We should have gone back and forth.
We should have.
Said you could, yeah.
All right, you know what? Why don't we just try again? Go ahead.
No, the moment has passed. That's good. Everyone gets it. To interact with the show, we are the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast. Let's Go Blues Radio. To interact with the show on social media, our handle on all the socials is at LGB Radio. I'm Curt, my co-host for the big show tonight are Bill Day and Jeff Ponder. The agenda for tonight's show includes discussion about. We'll talk about the Blues' big win against Vegas, the shitting of the bed against Utah, and big win against Calgary. All that and more on this exciting episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Wonderful. Me too. I had the flu over the weekend. So that sucked. But today was the last day that the boy will be at home from having the flu as well. So let me ask you, Curt. I think every parent agrees with this. And I'm not saying this for the reason that people are going to be like, "Aw." It is much, much worse when your child has the flu as opposed to you having it.
Oh, 100%, for sure.
Yeah. And it's not because I'm like, I just want to take your pain away. It's because it's like, God damn, you are so fucking needy. And,
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, come on. And it's like, but it is, in all seriousness, it is just like, God damn, dude. Like, what I would do to take this away from you, because it's not only like when I have the flu, I lock myself in the bedroom, I leave everybody else alone. When my kid has the flu, it's like the whole house is on red alert, and it's just totally a different experience.
Yeah, I mean, and there's not much you can do. I mean, you can, you let it run. You take medication you can, and sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't much, and it's just got to run its course a lot of times, right? You just kind of maybe the stuff you take will reduce the symptoms, but yeah, it's whatever. But to me, it's like, who cares? I'll deal with it. It sucks. If full blown flu sucks. I mean, if you got the full blown flu, you feel like you're dying. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, there's, I guess, different levels of having the flu, like how bad it can be, and sometimes it's not the flu and you think it is, just a bad cold. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. And like my son, like when he was real little, he had an earache one time, and there's nothing you can really do. You just kind of, I mean, they don't give out those numbing drops anymore. They don't allow that. So it's like, you just got ibuprofen, and you just got a, warm towel or moist towel, and you just gotta let it run its course. And it sucks because they're crying and they're like, it hurts so bad, take it away. I kicked the bed. You can't. I'm like, I can't. It just kills me. Yep. So, and it just sucks. And it's I don't know. Kids can deal with it better than adults, though, as far as like the severity of flu, maybe.
And I think it's funny too because like my boy did take it like a champ compared to my wife and I. Like I said, I locked myself in the bedroom. I was miserable. My son would come in, and I'd be like, "Don't turn on the light." And like my wife, she got it 2 days after me, and she started having the same issues. And it was like she locked herself in the bedroom. My boy got it. And yeah, it was, awful because he was, sick and full-blown flu. But, like, he would get done doing his business, let's say, and he just go sit on the couch and he just kind of sit there for a minute. And he just, and then after a couple minutes, he might start laughing at what's on TV. And I'm like, how the hell are you even functioning right now, dude? Yeah. So, yeah, sometimes they do take it a lot better than we do as adults.
I haven't had the full-blown flu in a while.
I get it every year.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I honestly do say, because before I had my kid,
you get the shot?
There was like a 2 year. Yes, there was like a 2 year span where I never got sick, and I'm not even kidding. Like, it was great. I had this streak where it was like, oh my god, this is awesome. I'm invincible. I'm Superman. I can't get sick. And then like I get my son, Mr. Germ, and it's just like all of a sudden I was sick all the time. And now I have the flu all the time, and I swear it's because I've got a 12-year-old and I've got a teacher wife. So they are always around kids, and she's a early childhood. So she gets the real one where you got to like wipe the butts and, wipe the noses. And so it's like, I'm guaranteed now, like every winter, I'm going to get the flu at least once.
Then you have a shower, like a decontamination shower.
Yes,
at her workplace.
What I should do is I should set it up in the garage before she walks in. She has to jump in, like completely undressed, take that shower, and then you're welcome inside.
It's like it needs to be like a radiation shower. You spray down with the hard hose and the big huge brushes that people are brushing out. Yeah, and then the white powder they throw on you. Delousing, yeah, let's stop.
I will pitch that to the wife.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, you need like in your garage, to build like a little 4x4 area just to kind of do that before she comes in the house.
Well, and like set it up like at the door so she can't even like try to sneak in past the shower.
Right. Walk through some ultraviolet rays.
Like it's like a timed release. Like you walk into this, you have to be in here for 3 minutes while the shower runs.
Last year I didn't get the flu or COVID, but I was really stupid and I got the shots at the same time. Oof. And that took me out for an entire weekend. Like I sat on the couch to watch a soccer game 10 in the morning, didn't move off that spot until 6:30 that night. And it took every ounce of my being to get up the stairs. And as soon as I got to the top of the stairs, like I crawled to the bed and passed out for another 6 hours.
I never have a reaction to the flu shot ever. Aside from maybe the arm is a little sore, but it's never anything. Then I hardly ever know I've had a shot. And then the only time I had a reaction on the COVID shot was the very first one. And I had like
everyone.
I had like the chills, like 6 or 7 hours, 8 hours after I got the shot. Like 1 in the morning or something, I had the chills and I had hives. Took some Benadryl and and melatonin, went to sleep, and then I was out for till morning, and then I was fine. That's all it was. But had not had a single reaction to anything since.
Never a reaction to the flu shot. Always a reaction to the COVID shot. Like literally, when I got COVID I can't remember now.
But like
it was one of the 2-shot ones, but.
Pfizer or Moderna.
Moderna. I got Moderna. Yeah.
Okay. I've got first one was Johnson. First one was Johnson & Johnson, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got the 1 shot, I think.
I got the 1 shot, and then it was got the booster a little bit later. Had the reaction to the 1 shot, but after that, nothing.
Oh,
Moderna was fine.
Moderna was fine. And so I literally said when I had COVID in August, and I'm sure you guys remember because it was like my 18th time having COVID.
Yeah. Look at doorknobs, man.
You and David were on.
I literally said, like, when the doctor came in and she said, yeah, you're positive for COVID, the first thought in my head is, well, that sucks, but at least I don't need to get the booster for like another 6 months because the shot makes me more sick than actually having COVID.
That is weird.
It's very odd. I don't get it.
Okay. Well,
Joe Schmo says, wait for that shingles vax. Miserable.
yeah, you know what? I mean, okay, I know some people have reactions to vaccines in different levels, and some don't react at all. And so hopefully that shingles vaccine. I had chickenpox as a kid, like most people did, and so I've got that stupid shingles in me. Who knows if it's going to ever erupt? But yeah, I should get the vaccine.
Well, you probably should, because in 6 months the vaccine may be illegal.
That's true. You have to go to Mexico for vaccines.
Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds great. Yeah.
Let's get away from sickness and vaccine talk.
Yeah, no kidding. Who brought that
Move
up?
on.
So this weekend, I wanted to mention this because I played in a pickleball tournament, and it kind of felt like a hockey game at the end of it. So it was a round robin tournament. It was a for charity tournament. You know, it wasn't like a huge tournament. It was a small tournament in East Alton. And
did you pull your goalie at the end? Is that why?
Yeah. We had the open net, and we scored 2 goals to tie the game and lost in overtime.
Nice.
But no, so we went. Buddy of mine went up there, and we played, and we won the thing. But the first game, I knew the guys were playing, and okay, this is probably the gold medal game here, because we're the 2 best teams. So it's round robin, and if whoever wins this game, it's gonna be hard for the other person to overtake them if they have to lose twice. So we played this game, and we ended up winning this game, but there were 2 line calls that they hated, they didn't like. And the first line call, they came to the net and they're yelling, pointing fingers at us, and I'm like, this is great. I love this. Pissed off people playing pickleball, in a charity tournament, mind you.
Right.
This is a charity tournament. So there was like a silent auction and everything, and raffles and stuff like that to raise money, 50-50s. But and it was an out call we made. They didn't like it, and it was the right call. And my partner made it. And then late in the game, we're losing. We're coming back though, and another line called out. They blew up. They were pissed. And again, the right call. So we end up winning the game, and then we go over the sideline, and then one of the folks who was there watching us turned to the guy we're playing against and goes, both those calls were out. They got the calls right. And he blew up. I'm standing right there. He blew up, starts yelling, pointing fingers at me. There's a person between me and this guy, and he gets in his face, like pointing over his shoulder, yelling at me. I didn't do anything. My partner made both these calls. And so I naturally, Bill, you guys know, I'm not going to sit there and just take that guy yelling at me, pointing his finger in my face. And so I start yelling back at him. We didn't do anything wrong. It was the right call, blah, 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 whatever. And the director had to come over and get in the way and get in between us and everything. So that was a little bit of a arguments going on, yelling, pointing fingers, a little bit of hockey there at the end of the pickleball match. But we won the tournament.
It made you miss.
So we were the best team.
It made you miss being on the rink, huh?
A little. It was funny because Amy said, "Well, that's the first time I've really seen hockey Curt."
That's true.
And she's only ever heard about him.
She was right there, and she goes, her hands were shaking when it was going on. She was nervous, and that's the way she gets. So I loved it. Oh, that was great. It was fun.
That's part of the reason I still love playing. There's times where I go weeks without any type of, confrontation or argument, but like when it happens and that you feel that fire bubble up in you, you're like, oh yeah, this is why I play still.
Especially when you're right?
Yeah.
You're being accused of something you didn't do, and you're right. It's like, no, I got truth on my side.
I don't know if I told it on the show, but real quick, I did have a roller situation. Actually, it's funny. I have my GoPro. I actually have it on tape. So at the end of the game, we had a situation where the puck goes into the corner, and there was literally 8 seconds left. Actually, not even that. It was 5 or 6 seconds left. And as a defenseman, instead of wrapping it around the boards, because literally there was a little bit of time left, we had a 2-goal lead, mind you, as well. So there's no way they're scoring 2 goals. Maybe they get 1. They're not getting 2. So I go in and I just smother it in the corner. I just hold it there. Guy comes up behind me and runs my head into the boards, which I was like, whatever, dude. And the minute the buzzer goes off, the whole team surrounds me, and they're all just like, oh, that's a dick move, man. What a dick move. What a pussy. And
how much time was left?
about 6 seconds.
Oh.
and I just was like, that's hockey, bro. And he's just like, that's not hockey. That's a dick move, man. And I'm like, dude, show me in the rule book where you can't do that. Like, and show me in a defenseman who wouldn't at least consider doing that with that much time on the clock.
Do you know what I've done before? We're protecting a 1-goal lead, face-offs in our zone. I'm taking the face-off, and there's 20, 15 seconds or whatever. As soon as the ref motions to drop the puck, I fall on it. I've done it. Yeah. I have fallen right on it. And I'm like, you know what? If you want to call a penalty on me, fine. That's just time wasted. The time's going to run out. So I'm happy to kill 10 of those seconds or whatever.
Yep, I'm the same. I do the same thing. I've actually done that before. We had a face-off in the defensive zone with about 3 seconds left. Yeah. Center lines up, and I said, "Hey, let me take it." And he gives me a weird look, and he's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And that's exactly what I did because I knew what the guy was going to do. He was just going to shovel it at the net. So I just went down on one knee and blocked it.
I didn't even go for the puck. I just tied up his stick, so he couldn't win the face-off, and I just dropped on it.
Yep.
So it pisses off everybody. But what the fuck?
Whatever.
That's hockey, baby.
It's gamesmanship, baby.
Joe Schmo says pickleball on skates could get my interest, or find a way to actually get pickles in the game. There is a video out there of people playing pickleball on ice skates on a pond.
I've seen that actually. Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun.
You know what? And I'm thinking yeah. I mean, I was just thinking because there's in town the Y has a roller rink, the Meyer Y, and they'll set up pickleball courts on there and play. And I'm like, I could play on rollerblades on this stuff. I can cut and turn and go back and forth and stuff like that and play. That'd be interesting. It'd be kind of stupid, but we could do it.
Yep.
The LGB Minute podcast is chugging along. You put one out this morning, correct, Jeff?
Yeah, I've been, like I said, the only day you can expect I won't post it is typically weekends. I've done 1 or 2 weekend shows, but whenever the day after one of our live shows. So I will not have one tomorrow, but probably will Friday. And yeah, I say it every week. I'm enjoying it. It's been fun. The listenership. It's funny. I literally looked at the all-time from whenever November 25th or whatever my first show was. And, it literally is a straight line. Well, I guess a diagonal line. And it doesn't venture at all. Like, it's a straight diagonal line of the listenership since my first show. And so it's like literally every show I've gained like 1 listener or 2 or 3 listeners. So it's really kind of cool to see. So we're growing in popularity. Very happy with it.
And our 500th show, we've been in talks to have something possibly in the works. We're still waiting on finalization of that. But
so I think we can at least tease this. It's looking like it's going to be Wednesday, February 5th, earlier than usual, like maybe a 7:00 Central show. And we're hoping it'll be live on location. So we're working on that. Probably somewhere in the St. Louis County. So I would say if you think you might be available that night, circle the date on your calendar. Because it would be awesome to get some of you people out there, especially some of you live folks, if you're in the area. Yeah. And you people. Yeah. No, it'd be awesome. I mean, you guys know, like, broadcasting to an empty bar would suck. So
I'm sure people have done it before, though.
Yes, I'm sure they have. Actually, I know they have.
Some lesser-known radio shows show up at a bar and nobody's there.
Oh, there was 1011 did that once. They went to a bar at like 9 in the morning, whatever that show was, and it was like nobody's there.
Now the Courtney show, 101, The Arch.
Yeah,
or 103 or The Arch, right? Is that what it is? 104.
The Arch. 106.5 is The Arch.
I was getting there.
Keep working your way up the dial.
Yeah, the Courtney show from The Arch. They were at Pantera's Nervousville a while back, and Amy and I went there and hung out and watched them, had a pizza, and watched them do their show for a while. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're planning on that. I would say around 7:00, February 5th on a Wednesday, St. Louis County. We will be live. We just don't know the location yet. We're still working on that. We got a couple, irons in the fire? That's not it.
Irons
in the fire. It's been a long day, folks. So yeah, keep that in mind, folks. We'd love to see you.
And the Blues website is holding voting for the best favorite Blues jerseys of all time. It's on the Blue Natix portion of the site. As how Jeff says it. Which we just found out before the show. Just found out before the show.
I really struggled today, guys. I literally earlier said, we'll see how that materializationizes. Everybody's like, what? And I was like, I think I meant to say materializes.
Well, when you said, yeah, I saw this on the Blue Natix portion of the site, and I was like, for a second there, I thought I had been pronouncing it wrong my whole life. Right?
No.
I'm like, it's not Blunatix? No, it's Blunatix. It's got to be
Blunatix. Like I said to you guys, I don't think I've ever said that word out loud. So it was like, no, wait, I'm putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Blue Natix. I love it. Sounds like a shoe line. I know this is all in fun, but I hate that there's 3 clown jerseys in this thing, and 2 face off in the first round. So that means 1 has to make it to the second round, and that annoys me. But anyway, go on the
I think
website.
we could agree though that the right one was eliminated.
Yes. Oh yeah, the worst one of the 3, sure.
The abomination.
Yeah. The vintage, the throwback. The reverse retro.
The red one. The red one was
the RR reverse retro. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my favorites of all time got knocked out by the Winter Classic from the first Winter Classic, and which honestly, I mean, rightfully so. However, I think it was an unfair matchup. That one should not have been. That's the number 1 seed, right? I think, and so it should go up against the 8 seed on as far as the Western Conference. If you want to do West, East, and West,
that's your opinion
on the Winter Classic.
Oh, no, I agree with that. I thought you were saying the one, because I like that one too, but I'm like, I don't know if that's the best. But yeah, I agree. The Winter Classic should be number 1.
That's
number
what I said,
8 should have been the Red Abomination.
Yes, agreed. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so the Winter Classic was the best number 1 seed. That's fair enough. I get it. But yeah, that the apparently they think, well, according to this, is the 8th seed on the Western bracket is the Hall & Oates era jersey, which I think is totally unfair. That's not the 8th seed on that side of the bracket at all. So I get what I get what they're doing here. I think the one side is home and one's no, it's not right either.
I think it's very random.
It would have been best had they pitted the Winter Classic versus the Abomination, because everybody knew like that's a shoe-in, right? And
1 versus 8, yeah,
right. And then you put the other clown jersey against the Hall & Oates era. That would be the most intriguing matchup.
You know why you do that? Because the clown jersey replaced the Hall & Oates era jersey, so that'd be a good matchup. Yeah,
right.
Why
that would
not
drive a lot more discussion? I think.
Oh, sure, for sure.
So you're not going by like what we think is best, which let's all.
I think it's
here.
his favorite. It's favorite.
Let's Go Blues Radio knows the best Blues jerseys. Like they might as well just asked us, and we could have told them what the winner is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I will say, to make it fair, if you're not going to like have the fans vote before on where everything places, I think what they should have done was they should have should be the very first jersey, the number 16 or whatever should be the very last jersey that was released. So the Winter Classic one from this past year. 2 should be the second jersey, and 15 should be the one that was released before the Winter Classic.
I thought about that. I thought about do the 4 quadrants of the brackets, do them like based on eras, more or less.
I think if you do something like that, I think that's the only way to truly make this fair.
The way they did it is one side like they've got the home like Hall & Oates era jersey, the early 90s, and on one side, and the away is on the other side. So home is on one side and away is on the other. That's what they're doing. Yeah, the clowns too, except for like the reverse retro and the Winter Classic ones.
I mean, we're probably making way too big of a deal out of this.
No, it's jersey talk. You can't. It's hockey jerseys. You can never talk too much about hockey jerseys.
But that's what we do, right, on this show, especially. We love jerseys, and I will say, what's left? The only thing that if it wins, I will be pissed is the one clown jersey remaining.
That's not going to win.
No,
I'll be ticked off if the Stillman circle, not Stillman, the Checket's circle jersey goes farther than it is now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think they should lose in the second round because it beat the Ruth Arnest home, a white at the time, jersey.
Should we just start calling that one the circle jerk?
Circle jerk. Yeah. There are a lot of people that love that jersey. They wanted the Winter Classic. They wanted the Winter Classic. I think it's fine. I think it was really good when it first came out. I liked it a lot. But for some reason it wore on me. I didn't I got tired of it. It was like, okay, it lost its luster after a while for me.
The deep navy took everything. Like it got away from the royal blue that is the St. Louis Blues.
If you went like a royal blue, then you're coming close to the powder blues for Pittsburgh. They had the circle thing too. Yeah. You're kind of like the same kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was good at the time.
Yeah. I liked it for a few years, sure. Yeah.
Guys, we haven't been visited by this fellow in a while. Mr. Justin Scott is in the chat. Says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Mr. Scott? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year." I know it's too late to say that.
Is there anybody in Justin Scott's family with the last name of Scott with the first name Michael? I'd be curious.
You gotta think the odds are good.
Pretty good.
That,
Michael's
right?
a pretty common name.
Yeah.
Scott's, Michael Scott. And how many office jokes happen all the time in the family? Official beers of episode number 498. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. Jeff's is JPonder94. Mine is CPrice12. Bill's is Billy Blue Note 33. I don't think I'm first. I am. Yes, you are.
I am rocking that ID Life tonight. So I've got some the lime hydrate.
Shit the lime
tonight. Shit the lime. I've got the lime hydrate tonight. So good stuff to keep me hydrated. Okay, go ahead, Bill. Please. Or no, Curt. It's your turn. Stop me from talking.
Oh shit. Okay, that was quick. Usually when you start talking, I can take a break for about 10 minutes.
Ooh, damn.
I've got the. Well, I'm gonna pull up first here the glass so I can. I found this in the back of the fridge. The little Four Hands
nice.
Almond Joy. Four Hands almond and coconut chocolate milk stout with natural flavors. The Almond Joy is the most natural of all the candy bars. So it's and I don't know, it tastes better now than it did when I had it 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, whatever it was.
Yeah,
it tastes better now for some reason. Maybe it ages better than it. I don't know. It's good.
So I still have like half a box of those. You are welcome to them if you want them. Not
like
my
them?
favorites. Not my favorites.
I like that. I mean, I like the Snickers one the best.
Yeah.
But with the peanut buttery flavor. But I like this one. That's
Bill,
good.
you're always talking about your the beer that you are trying to get through, and you've got this extra beer. I just imagine you have like a whole house that just has beer in your backyard.
It's mostly in my basement. So.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
I'd like to stop in that basement sometime.
We'll have to have you guys over for some a blues game and some pool and drinking beer.
He's gonna lock the door behind us, and he's gonna be like, "We are not leaving until all this beer is gone."
Pretty much.
Like you guys, he's gonna be standing guard at the door. Nope, get another beer. I don't care.
Nice.
You may have to hold up to the mic. That was good. There you go.
Yes, I have a mini gong at my desk now, folks.
It sounds like some really bad public access television TV show on PBS. Channel 13 out of Mount Vernon, something like that.
Bill, say something really smart.
Oh my God.
Can't put me on the spot like that.
He's got to do research.
I got to do research. How
about in an announcer voice, just say, "The more you know."
The more you know. There you go.
Clip that off.
You need to have incense burning around you or something,
Right?
to pull that off. You dim the lights more. The room's too bright for that clang. Okay, so we're due for a break. Oh,
I'm drinking a Fat Elvis.
No, we're not.
That's my beer. That's my beer.
I'm trying to move the show along. I guess I don't know.
That's all I got.
Fat Elvis, Jeff and I were talking. I haven't seen it in the stores in a while. So.
Found it in the back of one of my fridges today.
That's why.
Love the Fat Elvis. Banana chocolate milk stout. Okay. We are due for a break. On the other side of this message, we're going to have some Otto Stenberg talk along with the Blues recent games. You're listening to Curt, Bill, and Jeff on Let's Go Blues Radio.
We'll return after these messages.
We've all tried a diet or workout fad at one time or another, but it always ends the same, right? We either lose the weight and then get back to our routine, but then put the weight right back on, or it just simply never takes hold. It's time to move into a habit-based program that focuses on organization and simplicity. Rockin' That Ideal Life's Lean 30 lays it all out for you with the correct food to eat, how to meal prep, and even sprinkles in plenty of healthy recipes. With Lean 30, you'll get the full ID Life arsenal, including energy for that needed kick, a tasty Nourish shake for your needed fiber intake, Slim Plus to help control your cravings and provide a metabolic boost, Lean capsules help bust those sugar cravings, and IED Nutrition gives you the added punch you need that takes the guesswork out of what supplements to take. Join the many who are seeing success and make this your last first day on a new program. Visit rockandthatideallife.com to get started, and remember to email Dustin at rockandthatideallife@gmail.com for an extra 10% off exclusively for Let's Go Blues radio listeners. Start your transformation to the confident, vibrant person you've always wanted to be with rockandthatideallife.com.
St. Louis hockey fans know how it takes a reliable captain and a team of hard workers to achieve major goals. As a police officer and a hockey player, realtor Mike Burgoyne would wear the C in any situation. As a leader in the home buying or selling process, Mike has surrounded himself with a team of trustworthy inspectors, lenders, and escrow officers that work together more cohesively than Hall & Oates. And as a member of many teams in his life, Mike knows the service our first responders, veterans, nurses, teachers, and yes, even you Let's Go Blues Radio listeners provide the community, so he offers special rates to those individuals. Find the value in Mike's leadership and teamwork today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or calling 314-753-4060. He'll work closely with you and only show you the homes that match your goals. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com or call him at 314-753-4060 and succeed with your new teammate today.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
As we come back from break, I wanted to point out this lovely artwork behind me that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a frame for it. I need to maybe I need to take it out of the glass. I hate the glare it's causing. Yeah, but still, that's the nice thing we found last week from my dad back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. So nice little piece to have. And of course, I put this up a couple weeks ago, but Bill's generous gift to us on Christmas.
I got to hang mine up. Mine's right here on the table.
The Cobra.
Yeah, Gary Simmons.
You get some of that mood lighting you got, Jeff. Like I got back here. So you could deal with the glare. Wouldn't have the glare then. You put it in the right spot.
So I've got little inserts for the lights I use here, my show lights, as I call them. I could start using those. That's a good idea. I might play around with that this week.
Yeah, lighting is everything. It makes you look, younger.
Well, and I look fucking great. I mean,
I just had a miniature Reese's peanut butter cup, and it was in the fridge. And the expiration date on it was Best By. So, which is like, up for interpretation of when you should eat it. But Best By June of 24.
Oh, nice.
So, but it's the fridge. Something in the fridge prolongs the expiration date of everything. It tastes delicious. It was good.
I was saying, because I've had M&M's, Reese's that are a couple of months past. And yeah, it's like, you can't even taste it. It's like,
really?
The flavor's gone. So
it's
funny because when you
had COVID?
The first one that I had, I was like, oh shit, do I have COVID again? And then I looked at the bag and I was like, oh, Best Buy, and it was like 6 months prior.
Yeah, that's been in the fridge forever. Every time I get a beer out of the fridge, I'm like, I should probably eat that little thing. It's been there forever. Yep. Matt Harris says, nice display, Jeff. It is a nice display.
Yeah, I get comments on it all the time at work. And it's funny whenever I meet somebody new, they're like, huh, hockey fan, huh? And I'm like, no, I hate it. I'm a big football guy.
I should have a panorama of my room here. Most of this stuff is on
I
camera.
like your office. It's very nice. And it's funny is I've got more shit hanging up over here too that you can't see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I should do it. We should all do it. Let's all do a panorama of our rooms and share them on social media this week.
I need to get mine sorted. This makeshift hanging jerseys thing has got me a little. I've gone a little too far with it.
You got a nice case back there.
What's that? Yeah,
nice case.
Yeah,
yeah. You could do a nice long shot of your case.
Right. There's a Matthew Caron.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
Tablet size. A4 size, right? Tablet.
Yeah. So there's a Matthew Garon replica mask up there that I stole from Curt's cousin Jeff.
I thought you were going to say that I stole from Matthew Garon.
Yeah, I took it off him when he was walking off the Bell Center ice one day. But yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in there. But yeah, the glare is an issue. But yeah, I have like those prints that you guys have. I have like 12 more by that artist, and I have 5 or 6 of them framed. I've just been so lazy about hanging anything in this office that I need to get around to that. And I have a bunch of other cool goalie stuff that I want to get hung, but I just, too lazy.
Otto Stenberg has 3 points in 3 games for the Thunderbirds. Stenberg made his debut last Saturday against the Bridgeport Islanders. He got his first AHL goal and his first shot at 2:43 of the second period. And then he added an assist. Him and Hugh McGing teamed up for his goal, and then he assisted on McGing's goal. So since his debut, he has appeared in 2 more contests for the Thunderbirds, tallying another assist. So in 3 games thus far, he has 3 points and 7 shots on goal, as well as being a +1. You said you have +-1. +1.
That's how you write it in journalism.
Plus. So what if he's a -1?
You just put --1.
-1?
I don't like
check out at the Athletic. That's how we were taught to do it.
I don't like
that.
That
was one of my first questions when I started hockey writing for AP.
I don't like that because the way you say it is +1, right? And the way it reads is he was a +-1 rating.
No.
You know, I know. I've read it before. I've seen it. Every time I read it in an article or wherever, I'm like, that looks weird. It looks strange.
It does look weird. It's again, AP sucks. It should just be, you should be able to just use the plus or the minus.
Yeah.
Like the actual,
it's what it is.
The character, right? But you can't use those in AP writing.
Bullshit.
That's stupid.
Okay. Anyway,
let's not get on that. Let's talk about Otto Stenberg instead of stupid AP. I've seen, I saw his goal. I think it was Luke Horak actually posted it. He looks good from what I've heard. He's flying out there. I don't think he's on Dvorsky's line, but seems like him and Hugh McGing have found some chemistry together. So, excited to see where he goes. I think this is a guy that everyone's excited about. Dvorsky. I think a lot of people are overlooking Stenberg. I think he could be a very, very nice complementary piece for the Blues in 2 years even.
I think the Blues have a lot of, like we talked about this before, they have a number of like middle six guys that are going to hopefully make this team very deep. So,
some of these guys are going to get traded too. We have to keep that in mind. You're not going to keep all of these guys.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, my ideal for Stenberg is a Steiner type player. You know, Steen was key in drafting him, and he was wearing 25 for Sweden, but good left-handed left winger.
Yeah, Armstrong has made that comment before, Jeff, that you've said about how the players are assets. And some will come up and help you on the ice for your team, and some will help you by being trade pieces to acquire needs. So,
well, that's why I always laugh at, and it's every team. It's not just Blues fans, but like when, teams start getting a little bit on the rise and then they'll move one or two of their prospects and people are like, all we've heard about is how great this is. And you just moved on and traded him. And it's like, if you have 6 prospects coming up in 2 years that are like top 6 or like top 2 or 3 defensemen projected, you can't keep all of them because of the salary cap. Like, eventually they're all going to want extensions.
Well,
you can't sign them all to $8 million deals unless you're Toronto. And eventually you need to move one or two of them. And the key is moving them before maybe they don't work out. And some teams have been really smart with that asset management.
Yeah. Initially, they get the league minimum contracts pretty much. So for a while.
We've got Austin Lynch, who I saw on his 21st birthday, very randomly. He was getting pretty lit. Let's just say that. He says, my first legal beer of the show is the Urban Chestnut Big Hoss from Wally's. I've had that. It's pretty good.
Did you get it from Wally's?
Yeah. Did you?
No, I did not get it from Wally's, but I think he's talking about that is the Wally's one, right? Like Urban Chestnut and Wally's did a beer together.
Well, that makes sense. He got it. He says Wally, so yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what he means. Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
What kind of beer is it?
I want to say it's an amber ale, but I could be wrong.
All right. I thought they were gonna say IPA.
No, it's not an IPA.
Everything's an IPA.
But yeah, my wife and I were going to see Wicked at his place of employment, and I knew it was his 21st birthday as I saw it on Facebook. And I was like, she's like, is Austin going to be there? And I go, I guarantee he's not because he's not working on his 21st. We walk in and he's sitting at the bar getting wasted. And I'm just like, Austin, go somewhere else. Jesus.
Well, happy belated birthday, Austin.
Yes. He's finally 21.
Right.
Man. That's crazy. He's been drinking for how long?
Just a couple weeks.
Just a couple weeks. Wink, wink. Right. All right. So the Blues defeated the Flames in the second meeting of the week, 4-1. So the Blues did what they had to do, right, against Calgary. Beating the first time, huge win, and then beating them the second time, which I didn't have a lot of confidence that they were going to beat Calgary twice. Not because Calgary's world beaters or anything, but because it's hard to beat any team back-to-back games. It really is.
Yep.
And the Blues played very well.
Especially two teams that are battling for a playoff spot.
Right.
Like this, you knew, especially after that first game, there was a little bit of rough stuff in the third period, and you thought, oh boy, game 2 is going to be exciting, or the Blues are going to lay an egg and the Flames are just going to kill them.
I thought Calgary was going to come out on fire. I thought they were going to come out with they have to win this game, right? Yep. I mean, I don't have to, but they don't want to lose back-to-back games against the Blues who were chasing.
But you know that was the talk in the locker room, right? Like, we can't lose to these guys twice.
Well,
we can't let them get that close.
But the Blues came out and they dominated this game early, especially. Yep. It was they were all over them. I'm like, wow, Calgary did not come out like I thought they would at all.
Yeah,
so
I think we were all nervous that the goaltending change was going to blow up, but it blew up against Calgary.
Yeah,
right. And I thought that Wolf was just terrible.
Yeah, he was
first period.
Yeah. Oh, the Parayko goal, which don't get me wrong, that was a bomb, but it was like, dude, it's nobody in front of you. How do you not have that?
Nobody's in front of him. It's on the ice. It's right at him. You know, it's like but yeah, no, I mean, and so 2 games against the Flames. Doug Armstrong, 1,500th game as a GM in the NHL. So, so I still think the goaltending move for the Blues was the wrong decision.
Yep,
but it worked out well, right? I don't think I think it was I don't understand the choice, but it worked out.
But did it?
Well,
think about it. Think about it with the next game in place. Bennington, I thought, looked very shaky in the first period. And you have to wonder if he's got that second game against Calgary, does he come out as shaky against Utah?
I don't think he plays against Utah.
Or does Hofer play that game?
But
Right.
I'm
Hofer
saying
plays Utah
with
because
a
they're doing
normal
two,
franchise, he's playing all 3 of those games, right?
but he wasn't. They weren't going to do that. You know what I mean? They
But
were
I'm
going
saying
to do.
if you're you're not the St. Louis Blues, you're any other franchise in the NHL. You're playing Bennington, Calgary, Utah. You're playing him against all 3 of those because he's your starting goalie, and you're battling both of those teams for playoff positioning. No offense to Hofer, but you go with your starting goalie in that situation on all 3 games. The Blues never make the right decision.
No, well, I mean, we don't know, right? But it worked out in the Blues' favor. I mean, of the 2 teams so if you're going to lose any game, I'd rather lose to Utah because Utah is chasing us,
right?
And they weren't going to pass us. So of the 2, I guess the Calgary games were more important. So, in my opinion, if we're going to pick one or the other. So I still think it was the wrong. I won't say it's a wrong decision. I just don't understand it. I don't either. I don't understand the logic. Especially after Bennington played well against him the first game.
I mean, Bill, we've talked about this a million times with you, especially being the goalie on the show. Like, the goalies want the crease. And again, I know Joel Hofer is your up and coming guy. He might be the heir apparent to Bennington, and maybe even at this point, it's like they need to play 50-50. But like this every other game bullshit, goalies can't get in grooves. How can you expect Bennington or Hofer to really feel the rink and get into a position where it's like, this guy's going to take us on an 8-game run? No, that's never going to happen. We're never going to have a goalie get hot and go on a run because they don't play every game. Neither of them. They could have a 40-save shutout, and the next guy is playing the next game.
How often do teams do that nowadays, though? Teams don't do it as much as they used to.
No, I mean, the Blues had great success with it in 2019, mostly because everybody lost faith in Jake Allen by the time that Bennington got called up. But
it's different head coach now, too.
But they stopped during the Berube era, right? They started this scheduled start shit that they're going with now. And it is frustrating. As a goalie, you want to be able to get into a groove and stay in that groove. And I think Bennington has shown, like, you take him out of the groove, and that first game back's not good. Him back in the crease against Arizona was just it didn't look good. He just wasn't sharp.
Speaking of the game against the Arizona Utes.
Did I say Arizona?
Yeah, you did.
Sorry.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
They called the Rams the St. Louis Rams for years. Yeah,
the Youths.
The Utes.
UTA. So who
I like that. The Arizona Utes.
Yeah.
The Arizona Utes. So the Blues played Utah in the next game, and they lost this game 4-2. I thought this game was frustrating, to say the least. Fantastic opening couple minutes of this game. First goal for the Blues.
Hang on. We were in the midst of the goalie discussion, so let's continue with that into this game. So Hofer plays well against Calgary. Let's go back to Bennington. Mm-hmm. It's just, it makes no sense to me. And it's like, that is why, to me, this team will not make the playoffs.
I have no problem.
Your goalies will not get in a groove ever.
I have no problem going from your backup who plays well to your number one in a game. I have a problem going the other way.
The every other game bullshit.
Well, it's not every other game. There's two. It's two. It's they play Bennington 2 and Hofer 1 typically. 2/3. Yeah,
but stupid. But that preempts any momentum that the goalie gets.
Right? I agree. I'm not saying that they should be doing that. I think I'd rather play Bennington, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, typically, at least. But and if he's on a run, if he's on a run, it depends. Like I've always said, whoever's playing good, put him in, and that's your run. That you play the hot hand. And if but I understand more if you play your backup in a game to give your starter a rest, and he plays really well, then going back to your starter, I get that. I have no problems with that. He's your number one. But going the other way, when your starter plays really good in a game, in a division game, and you got another division game, not division game, but a wild card playoff game. And if you've got another game coming up against the Utah team in the division, and then you should go back to your number one, and going to your backup in that game is interesting, even though it worked out and it was a good call. I thought, okay, great. Now Bennington got some rest and Hofer played well, but I don't think Bennington played that great against Utah.
And that's the argument that I know Bill's making, and I make, and Curt, I know you agree too. Bennington doesn't need that rest. He doesn't need it. Let him play. That's what he needs. And I say the same thing about Hofer. If Hofer's playing better, play Hofer. But pick one. I'm fine with the tandem. I'm fine with that. But like Bill says, the scheduled starts. That is where my issue is. It's like, the way that I see it is if it's like Bennington is playing, he played this game, he played great. Second game, played great. Third game, they lost. Fourth, he still played okay. Let's see if he gets a win. He lost that one too. Let's go to Hofer. I'm okay with that. But when it's like win with one goalie, and then let's go to the other guy anyway. He wins, and then it's like, oh, okay, let's go back to the other guy. Like, pick one. Let these guys feel the ice and get into a groove.
And unless they have some kind of scientific study basis for doing this, or it's a democratic thing, right? We know the Blues don't use advanced stats, but if it's a democratic thing and they go to the guys before the season and say, what do you prefer? Hot hand, you get to run as long as you want, or do you want it scheduled? That's the only scenario where I think it could be okay, but then you're doing it to the detriment of the team with the results we're getting on the ice this year.
Okay. I'm looking up games started in the NHL. I don't think teams don't run with a primary goalie 7, 8 out of 10 games anymore.
I disagree.
Jordan Minton has the 9th most starts in the NHL. He's 33.
I would say
Hellebuyck has 37.
We could probably name the 8 because they're all guys that are starters, bona fide starters. Vasilevsky, who else? Swayman, Shesterkin, hang on.
Shesterkin is not.
Ottinger.
Shesterkin has the same as Bennington.
But he was also injured.
Ottinger has 2 more.
Yeah, he was injured.
Ottinger has 2 more.
Okay, so we got Ottinger. Let's see.
Kemper.
Bobrovsky, maybe.
No.
Spencer Knight's playing tonight.
Bobrovsky has less starts.
Okay.
He's older. They are trying to get Spencer Knight into more games.
The Minnesota guy. Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Gustafson.
No. Gustafson has 2 less starts than Bennington.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just the number one. They'll go with the most starts in the NHL is Hellebuyck.
Skinner.
He has Hellebuyck 37.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Ben has 33, so he's 9th. So there's Hellebuyck with 37, Markstrom and Vasilevsky and Saros with 36, Montembeault with 35, Ottinger with 35,
but
Swayman 35.
I also guarantee those teams are not doing what the Blues are doing. It's not 2 for this guy, 1 for this guy, 2 for this guy, 1 for this guy. It's you played well, you're going to play the next game unless it's a back-to-back.
I beg to differ because they have good numbers and they're playing generally well, and they've got a few more starts than Bennington, but it's not a lot.
All right.
And he's 9th. I think I agree with you. And I think he should be playing more, but I think the general vibe of the NHL.
I'm not even saying that
goalies, they just don't do that anymore. That's not.
I'm not even saying that he should be playing more. That's not even what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're not playing him correctly. Like when you just randomly give him like the shutout against Detroit. He had the shutout against Detroit, right? The next game, Hofer's in. What? He gets a shutout against Ottawa. Hofer's in the next game. What the fuck? These aren't back-to-backs. Give him the crease back.
Yeah, that used to be a golden rule, right? If you get a shutout, you go the next game, even if you're the backup. And
the shutout against Detroit. The Detroit one was weird because there was 3 games off after the Detroit game.
That was the
and
holiday
2 games off and 2 days off before. So the only there was like 2 games in like 8 days.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the point is valid. It's and you said it earlier, Curt. You started the conversation with it, and Joe Schmo just brought up in the chat. Ride the hot hand. That's not what they do anymore. Ride the fucking hot hand. That's all. It's not science. It's easy.
And like I said, I agree with you. I'm just saying,
who's your goalie playing? And yeah, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, who's your goalie that's playing best? Play that guy more than the other guy. It's not hard.
Well, Hofer's got better numbers though than Bennington this year.
Then play Hofer. I don't care who it is. Just whoever's playing better, play him more. And give him, when he has a great game and it's not a back-to-back, put him back in the next game.
I think we agree.
I think we do. It's just
we agree, but
frustrating.
Well, I think we agree. I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think I guess I thought you were saying that he should be starting more, but
okay. I think his game started is fine. I'm okay with that. But I think if he's in the top 15 of the league, I'm good with that. But I don't like the way he's being used, and I think that's what Bill's trying to say too.
We've said that a few times this year that we thought that he should be starting and he wasn't. So It's not the other way around though. We've never thought that Hofer should have been starting when.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's been times where Hofer's played tremendous and they go right back to Binnington next game. It's dude, Hofer played great. Let him see if he can ride this.
Yeah, unless I think there's a caveat there. I think if Hofer played a really good game, but Binnington played a really good game the game before, then there's no problem going back to Binnington. I have no problem with
that. The one thing that a scheduled strategy does, right, is eliminates any potential for a controversy for like who's our number one. Right. That's the only benefit, I think, from a team that is obvious doing it that way. But they have their reasons. It would be great to, if those kinds of questions got asked and, by our media friends. So I don't know, maybe we get Lou to ask, well, why do we do it this way?
It just makes no sense.
How come?
Matt Harris in the Wycombe. I think it's Wycombe. Matt Harris in the chat says Jeff and Curt violently agree tonight. That is a term that my boss uses. Violently agree. And I had not heard that before. And then Matt just used it. It's such a weird term. Violently agree.
It means you have passion.
I think we agree, but I think we do disagree in how I don't think the Blues are. I wouldn't say they're mismanaging their goalies. I disagreed with a few starts this season as far as who they played. I wouldn't say as a whole they're mismanaging it. I generally get it, but there's been a few times this season I'm like, why? I don't understand this at all.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we at the end of the last show we said who. I think I asked you guys who starts, and all three of us were like, no question, Jordan Binnington. Should have been. He's 8-1, I think, against the Flames all time with like a sub-2 GAA. It's like. Yeah. You got to play Binnington. Yeah, he just played well, too.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just said I don't think it doesn't make sense to me why this. I mean, it worked out in that game. They won that game, so it worked out there. But who knows how it worked the other way with Utah.
And Morris in the chat. Curt and Jeff for Let's Go Blues radio version of Ron McLean and Don Cherry. I don't know which one I'd rather be because Don Cherry's. Especially in his older years, I've not been a fan of him. But Ron McLean can be so vanilla sometimes.
Yeah. I always enjoyed. I like chaos, so I like Don Cherry. I was just he's saying crazy shit, to stir the pot, about the Russians, about the Europeans. Back when I was a kid, he couldn't stand the Europeans. They're soft.
Right. In their heyday, their early 2000s through 2000 to 2012, we'll say, I thought Ron McLean did an amazing job of stirring the pot with Don Cherry. Right, he was so good at that. And
have you seen?
And then Cherry went off the rails.
Have you seen the documentary, Don Cherry? It's on YouTube or Netflix or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's good. It's called Rock'em Sock'em Hockey, right?
I had that tape. As a kid, and
we all did.
Which
John
version?
Yancey, the first one. John Yancey, if you're listening, John, guy I work with, I still remember his name because he stole the state from me at the Elks Lodge when I worked there in Belleville. He borrowed it and never gave it back, and then he quit, and then I never saw him again.
That's my Legend of Zelda Nintendo game. I had somebody do the exact same thing to me. I'm like, you motherfucker. Adam Cook, if you're listening, I still want my game back.
I want that golden nugget back.
You probably had some rare version too that's worth like about $5,000 now or something.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that Super Mario Brothers unopened? Like the only Super Mario Brothers that they know that exists that was in a store that is unopened and is just still sealed. And they say it's completely priceless. They have no idea how much it's worth because it's one of a kind. And
it's just unheard of for a game like that to be unopened.
Right. I know. This is the only one they know that exists. And it's graded like perfect, mint condition. So it's interesting. So Keller fucked us in this game again.
Shocker.
He's got 16 points in his last 9 games against the Blues.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because Keller is not like, he's not a McDavid. He's not this guy that just takes over the game and blows by everybody, but he just always gets points against us. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. And if he wasn't from Swansea, Illinois, I'd hate him. But I just
same hometown.
You can't hate the guy. You gotta like him just because he's from 10 minutes from where I grew up. But him and Cooley, jeez. Schmaltz.
Yeah. Schmaltz. Schmaltz is the more shocking one to me. I'm sorry, that dude really, he's not a top 6 player anywhere else in the NHL.
Yeah.
Against the Blues, he's fucking Mario Lemieux. Like, it's ridiculous.
I'm gonna look up. Let's see, Nick Schmaltz. Let's see his splits against the Blues. I didn't do that yet. Splits career against the Blues.
So yeah, we mentioned while you're doing that, Keller had 4 points Saturday, extended. And by the way, I love how you guys
holy fuck
refuse because they call him a Chesterfield, Missouri native.
Yeah, he's not. He's not.
No.
Yeah.
He played there.
He played for Chesterfield.
Yeah,
but he's
from Swansea.
He's from Swansea.
And his point streak went to 8 games against the Blues, including 5 goals and 11 assists in 8 games. Ridiculous.
Schmaltz has 36 points in 35 games against the Blues.
It's unheard of.
And it's amazing that we haven't traded for him.
You said he has what, 36 points against
36
us?
36 in 35 games, yeah.
Points. I think he has 37 points in his career.
He's all right. I mean, he's
fine. But
fine.
When he played for Chicago, he scored against us a bunch.
Oh yeah.
He's got 397 points and 552 games played. He's all right. But
it's not bad. It's shocking to see him have. I mean, he probably doesn't come close against any other team, right? Like he's a
60-point player the past few years. But yeah, he's not.
But against the Blues, if he played 82
games point
against
guy.
the Blues, he would break the all-time record for points in a season.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? He would do that, but then Keller would have like 200 more points than him.
Yeah.
It's
ridiculous.
That's stupid. It's dumb. Ryan Suter played his 500th consecutive NHL game. His streak is the second longest active streak in the NHL behind Brent Burns at 889. He's not catching him.
So I think I've mentioned the Brent Burns story on this show, but I'll be very quick with this. So I had a friend bring this up. He's like, man, do you remember that night we were out and you were talking to some girl at the bar? Because my buddy had just gotten divorced. This was 2005. 2005? No, it couldn't have been. 2006. It was 2006, so I was 21. They were like, yeah, you're talking to some girl at the bar, and she mentioned that she had a hockey stick signed by a Minnesota Wild player whose name started with a B, and you instantly blurted out Brent Burns. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And he's like, can you believe that you were 21 and you mentioned Brent Burns' name, and that dude is still in the NHL? And I'm like, God, that's crazy. That's a very good point. So, yeah, he's been around. I mean, 2003, I think it was his rookie season. Like,
I forgot he even played for Minnesota.
He started in Minnesota.
Yeah,
I know. I forgot.
Time, right?
That was 13 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
left there. And then it was just forever in San Jose. So Bennington did start this game against Connor Ingram. Ingram played very well. Bennington stopped 29-33. Ingram 22-24. It's interesting. So I shared with you guys the deserve to win a meter from Money Puck, and they had the Blues as easily winning this game. I thought the Blues played a good game. I thought they just kind of screwed the pooch for a 4-minute span in the first period, and just couldn't beat Ingram when they needed to. But
a member of our panel will disagree with you.
About what? About
that
how
the Blues played a good game.
I thought they played good except for a 4-minute stretch in the first period. Mostly.
It's not me. Bill, please.
I know. I can tell by what Bill's shaking his head.
Yeah, no, they couldn't defend for shit. That 4-minute span in the first period killed them.
Oh yeah.
But they got dominated by one line. And it was all night, right? They couldn't get any momentum, and Ingram was good outside of the first goal.
Yeah, that was
which I think we have to talk about, right?
with Tucker, yeah. Well, we didn't.
God, that was awesome.
That we didn't talk about that, did we?
Not yet.
Tucker? No, yeah.
No, we talked about that off the air.
Yeah, yeah. Tucker. I don't want to interrupt you, Bill, but
no, go ahead. I was segueing into this.
Yeah, not even 2 minutes into the game, right? Or was it a little over 2 minutes? Tucker face off in the offensive zone, which I was, after the fact, I'm like, wow, Tucker got an offensive zone face off. That's interesting. But so he's out there, and apparently he was going to fight O'Brien after the puck drop. And the puck drops. The faceoff is won right to Tucker. O'Brien throws the stick to the boards, and Tucker just grabs the puck, shoots. And as Tucker is shooting, you see O'Brien with his hands going, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And Jeff, you said I fast forwarded through the intermission, but you said Federico gave him railed him.
That's the most honest I've heard Bernie say. You can tell, there's a lot of times he wants to be like, what the fuck was that guy thinking? But he really okay, I'm on TV. I got to be, kind of diplomatic. He let O'Brien have it. He's like, what are you doing on the faceoff, throwing your stick into the boards? I don't care if you're getting ready to fight someone. He called him stupid 4 times. He's like, that's just stupid. You're stupid. That's being stupid. You're stupid. And Scott Warman just started cracking up.
If you're O'Brien, you're in the defensive zone. Why? And even if you think, okay, we're going to fight after the puck drop, you're in the defensive zone. You have to make sure the guy you're fighting drops his stick and is actually going to fight you before you throw your stick away. You're defending. If he decides to change his mind, you're fucked.
Well, and
everybody knows. Everybody knows that when the face-off comes, everybody knows that if the face-off comes to you in the offensive zone and you're going to fight somebody, you play it out first, then you can fight them. You don't ignore the fact the puck was won right to you and pass up a shot on net. No, you don't do that ever.
Well, and I do think I thought about his mindset, and because when you said he threw his arms up, I was like, what the fuck? It's I probably would have done the same thing as him. You motherfucker, we agreed we were going to fight and you shot the puck up. But it's think about Tyler Tucker. He's like, puck's coming right to me. I'm not just going to ignore it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what O'Brien's mind, it's this motherfucker. But it's what else are you going to do as a hockey player if the puck comes right to you on a face-off?
So stupid.
So then they got their fight, right?
Yeah.
And did you think that I don't know? I thought that Tyler Tucker completely won that.
Oh, for sure.
Brian skates away from that, trying to pump the crowd up. Hey,
I know.
Look, I'm bloodied like an asshole. And
Tucker got him with a shot right on the bridge of the nose, and it busted him wide open. And there's blood all over his face. And he skates off, and he's trying to pump the crowd. I'm like, you lost that in a landslide. What are you doing?
I think he was trying to save face. I think he felt like a fucking idiot, and he got away from that fight thinking, I got to do something to get the crowd to cheer for me because I feel pretty dumb right now.
We're 2 minutes into this game, and the Blues won a goal, made O'Brien look like a fucking idiot, and Tucker bloodied O'Brien's face in the fight that O'Brien should have actually been motivated to destroy Tucker.
Yeah.
And And I'm like, this game is off to an amazing start. We should be on. We should take this momentum and roll with it.
Real quick, did you guys have the same thought I did after that fight? I thought Tyler Tucker's got a whole fucking game to get an assist.
Yes,
right.
That
was my first thought.
Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yep.
Didn't happen.
No.
So I guess Bill and I probably disagree on how the Blues played in this game. Bill doesn't think they played as well as I did. But either way, they gave up. They played like shit for 4 or 5 minutes in particular. Look, it couldn't do anything right. Thomas's line looked like shit in the defensive zone.
Rightfully got benched.
Yes, and I was so when I heard and I know they said Thomas's line hasn't been out here near the end of the first period since the midway point, and I'm like, okay, that's. I guess I wasn't paying attention that much. And I'm like, good. I was like, good, because I'm looking at the stats and the replays and stuff. I'm like, yeah, Thomas, that one goal that passed from the point, cross deep, his sticks on the I think it was on the penalty kill. His stick's on his waist. His stick's not on the ice in the passing lane. And the puck goes right by him and he doesn't have a stick down. And that was terrible. And it was just bad coverage, bad own zone play by the Thomas line, and they got benched. And I was very proud of Monta.
Third goal, it wasn't even just bad coverage and bad ozone play. They couldn't get the fucking puck out of the zone. They had 2 chances to move the puck out, including Borrego, and they either fell or just completely missed the puck. And then Utah capitalizes, come down the turnaround shot and score. And it's like, Jesus, guys, did you fucking forget? Curt, your favorite line. Why are you monkeys fucking footballs? Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, good on him though, Montgomery for benching a star player when he's not performing the way you want him to. You don't see a lot of that as much as you want to anyway. So
and I love it.
Yeah, and I felt coming into this game that line needed to be broken up. Well, not necessarily that line, but Thomas and Buchnevich needed to be broken up because I thought that Thomas was starting to show frustration that his line is not producing, and Buchnevich has just been a turnover machine for the last few weeks. And so I thought, this would be a good game to break up that line. And instead, they throw him out there, and then you wind up sitting three of your top 6 guys for most of the first period, rightfully so. And then when they came, so they tried a couple different line combinations, and at one point it was Neighbors, Thomas, and Bolduc, and I thought they looked really good, and that lasted one shift. And it went back to Buchnevich. And that just like, why the fuck won't they put Bolduc in a position with a guy that can actually set him up instead of, here's Oscar Sundqvist to feed you from 25 yards behind you because he's the slowest fucker in the NHL.
I'm kind of, I don't know about you guys, but I when Buchnevich was signed, I was like, I wanted him to stay.
The recent re-sign.
Yeah. The 8 million per.
Yeah.
So that hasn't started yet. So he's on the last year of his current 5.8 million per. So he's due to make 8 million next year until 2031. So man, if this is the Buchnevich we've got going forward, he's 29. He should be in his prime, right? I mean, he's that's not old. He's not 34. So I don't know. Hopefully it's just some kind of like Schenn had a rough year last year. Schen's older, but
I think Schen's been great this year.
Amazing. He's been great this season.
Yeah,
our second line has eclipsed our number 1 line over the last 2 weeks. I mean, they are playing incredibly well.
And the way Schenn has rebounded this season after last season, which was not a good year for Schenn, first year as a captain last year, Schen's been fantastic. Love Schenn. He's been money on that left wing shot so many times. Money in the shootout, money in overtime. He's just been a good player. Reliable, dependable. He's producing. But
Booch, real quick on Booch. I just with him, I've gotten, and I know that I've ridden the bench Kyrou train in the past and probably was wrong, but I think of this like David Perron with Booch in the Cup year. Remember the one game that Berube had enough and was like, David, you're fucking sitting this game. I can't take it anymore. David Perron comes back after sitting one game, finishes out the season better than we've ever seen him play. I wonder if that's the same treatment we need from Buchnevich right now.
I don't know.
Like, dude, take a fucking game off because you look awful. And if you can come back and play better, at least demote him to the third or fourth line at this point.
And
he does not belong in the top six right now.
And he played third line in the Vegas game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in this Utah game, according to Hockey Stat Cards, he was the second worst player on the Blues. Parayko was the worst in this game, according to Hockey Stat Cards. So, and it's interesting how the Hockey Stat Cards, the stats kind of played out. There were 6 noticeably bad players, and the rest of the team was pretty darn good. It was like either you were great or you were terrible in this game for the Blues. The bad players were, according to the stat card, Neighbors, Fowler, Thomas, Falk, Buchnevich, Parayko. So
6 guys that you need to play defensively well that played like complete shit.
And you know what? They had what was it, 4-2? It was a 4-2 lead in the second period, right? And the Blues had 3 power plays in the third period. Didn't generate much of anything on those power plays. And they had a real good shot early in the period, right? And midway through to get within 1 goal. And you get that
Shen missed that.
Yes.
At the near post.
Yeah, that was tough.
Easy tapping and it hopped over a stick.
Yeah. It was
I saw somebody on social media, like I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, post something about they're a Utah fan and just getting into hockey, and they're like, I love the Blues colors. I wanna get something Blues. Is that okay? And I saw somebody respond, well, the way the Blues play against Utah, we totally get why you like the Blues.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they've lost to them 4-2 in 2 games this season, and they play them 2 more times. So they got to figure out something against Utah.
Yeah, and how shitty is
February
that?
2nd.
How shitty is that we play Utah 4 times, but Chicago 3 times?
I know, it's stupid.
Ridiculous.
Next game. So with the 2 games against Calgary, we win those, and then you're hoping, hey, 8th chance to try and win 3 straight, and against Utah, fell in the face again. Couldn't do it. So you're thinking, okay, now you've got to beat Vegas. If you're talking, because coming into this, you're thinking, okay, beat Calgary twice, beat Utah, split against Vegas, then you're happy, right? So you lose against Utah, and you're like, well, shit. Now we got to maybe beat Vegas twice just to get back on track from how we wanted the Blues to be playing. And so they come and they play Vegas, and they play a good game against Vegas. And they shit the bed, late, allow the 2 goals late, but
did they though? I gotta give more credit to Vegas than say the Blues played shitty. I thought Vegas played really well in that third.
I think it's a combination. I think the Blues played a really good game until it was noticeable they were sitting back in the third period, trying to protect the 2-goal lead. And then Vegas just took it to them. Chance after chance after chance. And then the clock was ticking down. The Blues weren't giving up that goal to get within 1 for the Vegas. And I'm like, okay, they're pressuring, but we're holding the fort. And then, under 10 minutes to go, under 5 minutes to go, I'm like, okay, this is ours. Under 5 minutes to go, this should be ours. And then they score with, 3-something to go? And I'm like, fuck. And then of course they tie it with the game that the puck that the shot that got them to within 1 was Eichel's. And that was a fantastic, the 2 goals. That was a fantastic shot. Both of them were the 2 that tied it. And if you remember, they're the exact same kind of goal, different sides of the ice, right?
You're reading my notes, aren't you?
Pass from the point, right, to Eichel, 1-timer. And I was going to touch on 1-timers because this is why it's really important to have a guy on that wing that you can play on the half wall, right? That the faceoff dot that can take that 1-timer and get a quick, hard shot off so the goalie's moving. You get the goalie moving, right? That's what you got to do. So it's like you get him moving, holes open up. If he gets across and gets set, then you're a lot less likely to score from there. But getting that 1-timer off and on goal, man, your chances of scoring increase a lot. And then
only thing I'll
scored
add,
twice on that.
Only thing I'll add is in my notes, literally, I have 2 goals with the empty net for Vegas, almost the exact same play, except Eichels was right to left and Dorofiev was the opposite.
Yeah.
So, yes, 100%.
Yep.
So I will add that I thought that the last forward on both those plays, Shen on the Eichel goal, Saad on the Dorofiev goal, were a step slow getting to their man. They collapsed too far to the center, didn't cut off that lane and at least have a fighting chance to get the stick in the way of the shot. And the Eichel shot, wasn't super happy with Binnington on that, but like Curt said, it's a hell of a shot. He's moving. The Dorofiev shot, perfect placement to blocker side. Right?
I paused it on the replay in the slow-mo right when the puck went by Binnington. I looked at his positioning as he was sliding across. He was like perfect. He had timed it. He slid across just perfectly, but that puck, it must have missed his blocker by a half an inch, just over the thing. And of course, he's sliding across, so he probably didn't pick it up right as he's moving across. And it just barely missed him. And his positioning was great. It was a great spot, that shot.
And that's why I say it's hard for me to really be mad at the Blues, because those were pin perfect shots, both of them. Like they missed their mark by an inch, and Binnington's making that save. Like, yes, the Blues could have, as Bill said, they could have not collapsed a little bit, but in terms of them getting to that play and setting up those 2 plays, well, kudos to Vegas. Holy shit!
The last one, was it both of them, or they both come off face-off losses in the own zone? Because so that was what pissed me off before Vegas tied it was losing that face-off in the defensive zone. That pissed me off.
The Eichel goal, like Shane Knighty, the Vegas broadcaster, called, right, that was like the definition of a scrum face-off. Bodies down and people scrap to get the puck out, and it's Vegas outworked the Blues on that and deserved those goals.
Holy shit, Matt Harris. This is crazy to me, because think about it. He says, I wish I could have watched the Vegas game. I'm blacked out of Vegas and Utah games. Grow the sport. Am I right? We all know blackouts are stupid. There's no questioning there. He's in Arizona, folks. There are people in St. Louis when the Rams left who still follow the Rams. There have got to be Coyotes fans that are still following Utah. And you're telling me that they can't watch their fucking games? Come on.
They probably do it on purpose. The blackout, the Arizona area. I don't know. I think they do that. Like when a team leaves an area. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
Matt, get a VPN. Perfectly legal.
At the very least, you've got people who will hate watch Utah and be like, fuck Utah. I'm going to watch them lose every game.
Yeah, get a VPN and watch it.
Jesus, NHL, come on.
Yeah,
VPN.
It's ridiculous that we're in 2025 talking about blackouts. It's so fucking dumb.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, so I was supposed to originally I was going to be at the game in Vegas, but we canceled our plans. So yeah,
I mean, a good one.
The blackouts in 2025. It's like talking about not having vaccines in 2025. Am I right?
I'm all right. Shen had a nice goal to start the game for the Blues through Pietrangelo. I thought Pietrangelo, he didn't get across to block it, kind of screened Hill on this play. So I was like, thank you. Great shot though. And then Hertl ties it up on the power play for Vegas later, and Hertl tries to score again later at 6:52 of the second period after a failed clear that was held in at the point. We're gonna do goal. We're gonna do the
but I just want to say on his first goal, tie up sticks.
Jesus
Christ. Fowler, Thomas, and Walker all right there. And I know people say Binnington needs to cover that rebound quicker. Yes, okay, I agree to a certain extent. But you gotta have your goalie there. You gotta just tie up that one guy in front and let Binnington get to that puck.
It was Thomas's guy, and Thomas is late to get there. And when he gets there, he shoves him in the back. a couple times, and he doesn't tie up the stick at all.
Fowler
Swipes at his stick.
Hit the guy. Take his stick out of the play.
I would
That's what
chop
you
the stick
do.
in half. You
take the penalty.
Fowler swipes at his Hurdle's stick and just misses it. And then Thomas comes in, and Thomas has an opportunity. He could just tie him up, and he doesn't do it. And he scores. And I agree that Bennington. It was a rebound, a shot that he saw, didn't cover it up, couldn't cover it up. So a couple things. Bennington, probably should have covered that up, held onto it. That's a rebound, maybe. But tie up Hurdle. My God.
Yeah, Bennington, to make that save, I think he put himself off balance, and it was too hard for him to get the glove down to cover the puck. Right, he's trying to hold himself there,
and it slid over to his pad. Right,
and Hurdle just was easily able to overpower him and get the puck out and scoop it in.
And then Walker ends up scoring in the closing seconds of the first period
that was nice,
almost a beautiful save. Holy hell!
It's funny if you listen to the St. Louis broadcast. John Kelly was talking about how the last game, which Vegas has lost 4 in a row now, in the last game they gave up goals at the end of the first and second period, and it's like, you want to talk about demoralizing, not being able to close that period without giving up goals.
Yep,
right.
Blues did it twice in this game too.
Yep, and then Vegas also did it too in the third too, though. So.
They
kind of gave it back to the Blues a little bit, which sucked. So Neighbors scores early in the third to go back up 3-1.
What a pass from Thomas on that.
And there were a number of goals that happened in the past few games. Near post, upper blocker.
Yeah.
There were like 3 or 4. And I'm what is with the upper
those have to be pinpoint. With the way the goalie's positioned on all those shots, those had to be tucked in perfectly, and all those shots were.
Eichel's goal, Neighbors' goal. There was a couple other ones.
Yeah, that play. When I went back to rewatch it, I was like, were the Blues on the power play? Because Vegas collapsed to the middle and gave Neighbors that entire lane.
I was going to say that.
And they had 2 guys following Thomas. I think they thought Thomas was going to try to cut across the blue line. So I think it was the winger in the center. I don't remember who it was.
It was Hurdle.
And there was another guy that was with them. They both went after Thomas, and that left Neighbors wide open. And again, the hockey IQ of Thomas to notice that, be like, if I just drop this along the boards, they're not going to get to that before Neighbors. And like you said, Neighbors wide open.
And then the Knights defenseman in front in the slot, they just kind of held their position there. They didn't go out to challenge Neighbors at all and let him walk in.
Yep.
They gave him like 3 or 4 strides from the top of the circle to the faceoff dot, and then that's all he needed. So, I thought that was very poor D by Vegas.
Yeah, it was.
And then Howden scores by Vegas less than a minute later, which, they just finished announcing the Neighbors goal. Yeah, which again was very similar to the goal that Keller scored against the Blues in the Utah game.
Yep. And it was a smart play. The shot from the point, right? And then he stops it and then spins and shoots. It was
Bennington's
deflected. Not picking that up.
It was deflected and it kind of slid to him.
Yeah.
So
so the 3 of the 4 Vegas goals to the blocker side. There's a book on Bennington now, and it's blocker side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and this will bring us to ready for the Bill Days save of the week.
Yes,
I believe we are.
It's been a month in coming.
At 6:52 of the second period, after a failed clear that was held into the point, the Knights quickly passed to Tomas Hurdle, who was in all alone behind the defense with a chance to tie the game. And this is Bill Days save of the week.
All right. So as Curt has brought us up to speed here, Vegas gets the turnover. Hurdle goes back between the legs. We've seen this before, folks. We've seen this. Tomas Hurdle scored against the New York Rangers back in 2013, I believe it was. Martin Biron was the goaltender and makes this exact same move. Biron put himself deep into the net, whereas Bennington pushes out as he sees it, makes the adjustment, kicks the leg back, blocker extends, and gets a piece of it, puts it up over. This is a brilliant save. And the thing that pissed me off the most about this whole thing, John fucking Kelly never gave him credit for the save.
So he shot a high.
Never. Right. He had 2 opportunities to call it right, and he got it wrong both times. The Vegas broadcast crew, Gaucher and Knighty, gave Bennington all the credit in the world as he deserved it. But man, what a thing of beauty. Also gives us the opportunity to bring up the infamous Joe Thornton quote, because when Hurdle scored on this against the Rangers, it was his 4th goal of the game as an 18-year-old. And somebody asked Patrick Barlow, do you think he was showboating there? And Thornton says, if I scored 4 goals, I'd pull my cock out and stroke it. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful quote from Joe Thornton back in the day. And man, what a glad that we could relive that moment. Hopefully our friends from TL Town will get a piece of that. I butchered the quote a little bit. I didn't write it down, but it was a moment. And yeah,
heck of a save. One thing that we've talked in the past about how great Benner was in 2019, and obviously has flashes of brilliance like this one. One thing I love about him is he never gives up. And I know we've talked about that a million times on this show, but like, that's a goal that you think of other goalies in the past. And I know there's a name that's coming to all of our minds right now that they're like, get my body in front of it. And if I get it, great. If I don't, fuck, Bennington's like, he kept his eye on, he tracked it well. And then he just pushed off. Like, as he's sliding one way, he pushes as you said, his leg and his glove back the other way, because he's trying to cover as much net as possible. He knows where Hurdle's wanting to put it, and makes an unbelievable save. You can, in the slow-mo, the one camera angle, the slow-mo, he's got the whole, he's closed up. There's no room 5 hole for Hurdle to go. He's not going, he's got the glove where it's supposed to be. He's not going upper glove on him. And you can see Bennington, as Hurdle goes to make the move between the legs, he just tracks it. Oh, nope, that's where he's going. I got it. And he's with it the whole way. His eyes track it. His blocker comes out with the puck. It was brilliant. And the slow-mo replay, I'm watching, I'm like, man, just how he tracks it was just amazing. It was fun to watch. And then Fowler scores. We talked about late goals in the period. Fowler scored with 31 seconds left in the second. Huge goal to restore the 2-goal lead. Again, shot from the point, seeing a shot, goes through 3 players. Hill never saw it. Never moved. So great shot.
Yeah, Saad did a great job taking his eyes away.
Yep.
Bill, I just posted in the chat, that is the direct quote. I'd have my cock out if I scored 4 goals. I'd have my cock out stroking it.
That's
brilliant.
God bless Hall of Famer Joe Thornton.
Yes, yes.
You think it? So you think it? Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, you think a 2-goal lead in the third period. With the other team's goalie pulled late in the third, because nothing happens in the third. Blues, they Vegas came on in the third. The Blues held the fort. You would think when the other team pulls their goalie, and you have a 2-goal lead, okay, we're pretty good. Even if they score 1, it's whatever. Vegas scores twice. We talked about the 2 goals. Great shots. Just own zone face-off losses and great shots. Just I guess it happens, but it sucks. Overtime, I feel like did you guys, obviously you thought we lost when Eichel had the open net and he missed it.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was a literally reaching for the remote moment for me.
Yeah.
Like the minute I saw that, I'm like, oop, and I even had my arm ready to come out and grab the remote, and I'm like, whoa, never mind.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, okay, great. Pretty good overtime too. I thought both teams, it wasn't an overtime where one team had the puck almost the whole time. It was both teams had it back and forth, had some chances. Vegas had the great chance, but Joe Schmo in the chat, hell, come to think about it, I've got my cock out right now. There is no way for us to know the truth, and I don't think I want to know the truth. There is, and we don't want it.
No. And Big Beaver agrees 100%, thought it was over on that shot. And I'll say that was one of the more entertaining overtimes I've seen the Blues play. I feel like in terms of like puck possession, usually it's like either the Blues control it the whole time and score, or the other team does the opposite. Like they possess it the whole time and score. This was back and forth. There was plenty of chances for both teams.
And in the shootout, Neighbors and Shen scored in the shootout for the Blues. Eichel scored for Vegas.
What a goal by Eichel, too.
Yeah, no kidding.
No chance for Binnington on that. That was a beautiful move.
Binnington makes the last save, reaching out, and my daughter goes, "Did he trip him?" I'm like, "No, I don't know if he did, so what?"
Well, I did think about that, too. I was like, is that a trip? Would they like, and what is the ruling on that? If let's say they were like, "Oh, Binnington, you tripped him," is that an automatic goal, or does he get another shot?
Oh, that's a good question. Have we seen a goalie just blatantly trip a guy on a shootout before he can get a shot away?
No, but I think it's going to happen now.
I'd love it.
This puck almost went in too. I mean, I wonder if it would count it. I guess it would have counted.
It's to me, like, the best part about Binnington on that was controlling his body and not moving in a way that put the puck in the net. I thought when I saw the puck coming off the stick going back towards the empty net, like, oh shit, this is going in. And he did a great job. I think he lifted his leg up and moved it so that it wouldn't deflect in. And
did you think that the referee said, basically no goal early on that play?
Yes.
He said it before Binnington actually stopped the puck from moving.
He still got a shot off.
It bumped. Well, I'm saying the referee says no goal after it like hits his pad and before he picks it up and throws it out. So it was like kind of loose there a little bit before, the continuation of the whole thing was still going on, I thought, but whatever.
I am asking AI right now if they know what happens in that situation.
Okay.
Who doesn't score?
Vegas
Allen Iverson's not a big hockey guy.
Here we go. Okay, in the NHL, if a goalie trips a skater during the shootout and attempt and the skater doesn't score, the shot is typically retaken. The specific consequences depend on the nature and timing of the infraction.
So it's judgment call.
One, if the trip occurs before the shot is taken, the shooter will be awarded another attempt. If the trip happens after the shot has been attempted, as in the case with Marc-Andre Fleury's infamous trip on Connor Bedard, no call or reattempt would be made. That's right. That was last season.
Yep.
For more severe infractions, such as throwing a stick or intentionally dislodging the net,
that's a goal.
The referee may reward an automatic goal to the shooting team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, judgment call.
That's what I thought.
But,
I thought if you tripped the guy, it would be ridiculous if it was like goal. Like, no, that was likely an accident.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm cool with the retake.
Vegas has now lost 6 of the last 7 games, and that includes losses to Nashville and Chicago. You hate to see it, right? Nashville's Vegas kind of losing, kind of on the struggling a bit here. The Blues have won 3 of 4 and 4 of 6. So, and they have a pretty tough schedule from now on through the end of February. Next game tomorrow against Vegas again. So another back-to-back. So I mean,
doing some research for our sister show, Let's Go Blues Minute. Smash that subscribe button. I found out if the Blues win tomorrow, the Flames lose, and the Canucks lose, the Blues are in sole possession of the second wildcard spot.
not including games in hand.
No,
Right.
no, but they will be 1 point ahead of Calgary.
Okay.
In that, so games in hand. Clearly, a lot of time left in the season. A lot of business to be taken care of, but still, quite the feat for a team. Right? Yeah, first time all season. Quite the feat for a team that has not strung together 3 wins in a row.
Mm-hmm. So who's in goal tomorrow?
Hofer.
Probably. It's Thursday night game.
Well,
Hofer.
actually,
Curtis Sanford. I don't know.
If they're going to Binnington, 1 Hofer,
it
should be
Hofer's.
Binnington. No, Binnington. I'm sorry.
Be
You're
Bunny,
right. It'll be Hofer. My bad.
Bunny LaRock is going to take the crease tomorrow night.
Yeah, so it will be Hofer, and I want it to be Bennington, but it's going to be Hofer.
Yep.
Dead guys.
Well, you got to think.
Play, Jeff.
Well, you got to get Bennington 6 days of rest before he plays Dallas on Saturday, right? I mean, that makes total sense.
Is that what it'd be?
100%.
Monday to Saturday, I guess it'd be what, 5 days?
5 days, yeah.
Tuesday to Saturday.
Why not? Give hope
Monday.
for the next two
Monday.
games and make sure Bennington's well rested for the games next week. There's just no rhyme or reason. It's fucking stupid.
It'd be 4 days of rest, but yeah, before Dallas on Saturday. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be Hofer. I mean, whatever. Maybe he wins.
But again, I will say, even if Hofer wins, I hate it because you're not letting either goalie get into a groove, and I think that is part of the reason we're not seeing 3 wins in a row. I really do.
That's a good point. Our 8th time to try and win 8 games in a row. I wonder how many times in those 8 games, in those 8 times, did the second win come with one goalie and the third come with a different goalie? Like we switched. You know what I mean?
I would almost venture to guess every one, but I'm going to. That's a good question. Let's look that up.
We should. That'll take a while. For next show, we'll look it up.
Yeah.
Yep. For next show,
or we'll look it up and we'll post it online.
Or maybe that'll be in the next Let's Go Blues Minute on Friday. We'll see. Smash that subscribe button.
All right. So next up for the Blues, we talked about tomorrow, Thursday, the 23rd, against Vegas, 7:00. Saturday, the 25th against Dallas, 27th against Vancouver at 6:30, and then the 31st at Colorado, 8:00.
I will be at the Dallas game. We should talk about this off the air, but I think we need to make this an annual thing. We should try and hit a game together, the 3 of us, at least once a year.
Going to the Bomberito Suite again? We need to do the Bomberito Suite one more time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed back up there.
Let's go, Bill. Come on, make it happen.
I don't have those connections anymore. So.
Oh, man. Shoot. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's probably a picture of Ponder.
Do not let this
man in.
Do not allow this podcaster in.
Right.
It's funny because like you guys went to that game and Jeff kind of overdid it, and when we took Julie's brother, and he almost got escorted out because he was trying to deliver Mike Van Ryan a t-shirt from their old high school.
Oh, that's right.
Together.
You told us that.
So I don't think I will be allowed ever to like distribute tickets for the Bomberito Suite.
Yeah, I don't know if I was as bad to where I'd be thrown out, but I definitely was making quite the scene. And I again want to apologize to Curt and Amy.
I don't apologize because it's a good story. What was that?
That was interesting.
That was Instagram picking up from where I left off earlier.
Bill Day.
the Peter Dinklage cosplay.
Matt Harris. So Big Beaver makes the joke. Isn't Jeff media? No, not anymore. Matt Harris says only media Jeff is now is his OnlyFans. I am on Cameo, which I will say that was a discussion about 6 months ago.
It's old farts. It's not OnlyFans. It's old farts.
My mom actually asked. We were talking to a couple of different people, and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, Jeff, you're on that OnlyFans, right?" I thought she was kidding, and I was like, "Mom," and she's like, "What? No, you are." And I'm like, "Are you thinking about Cameo?" And she's like, "Oh, the one where you send videos to other people." And everybody around us was like, "Yeah, that's OnlyFans." And I'm like, "No, I'm on Cameo." Okay,
that's funny. Oh, rapid fire tidbits from around the NHL. Connor McDavid was suspended 3 games. You guys have seen the video now.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think it's, I think it's what with the. Do we share the same opinion that it's a well-deserved penalty, well-deserved punishment, but we don't blame him for doing it?
I like what Bill said. And obviously I'll let you say it. It's just, to me, it's like the play should have been halted. I know that Edmonton had the puck, but Jesus, Connor Garland literally just ragdolled McDavid the whole fucking time.
Right. Was there a delayed penalty coming?
There wasn't.
Oh,
there was not.
See, that's a problem.
Yeah, and it's the refs should have at very least delayed penalty. They didn't do it. It got out of hand. Like, I mean, Connor Garland, like that is like just the most frustrating play, right? When you have some tiny little hairy ass man draped all over you, holding you down.
That. Can't stand that.
Right. It happens to Jeff all the time.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Right. I mean, Mario Lemieux railed against this 30 fucking years ago, right? And it still happens. And you know, you think the NHL is going to do something to protect the superstars, but not in this case. And it wound up leading to 2 suspensions because you got Tyler Myers, returned the favor back the other way, and both did the same thing, and both, they both deserve suspensions, but the refs shouldn't have let it get that far.
No, and like I said, I mean, for me, it's like you watch that play, and it's like that's literally telling guys like the little punks of the league, like Connor Garland, late in the game, if a team like Edmonton, who's got 2 superstars that could shoot the puck and score anytime from anywhere, it's okay. As long as Edmonton has the puck, do whatever the fuck you want to the other superstar. Take him out of the play by any means necessary.
Lay on
and
him.
It's like, to me, like, man, and that's the problem with the NHL. And I hate to sound like an old fart here, but if you go back to the 90s and Connor Garland tried shit like that, Tony Twist would be in his face, killing him, like making his face blend in with the ice. And you just don't have that anymore. So these guys get away with that shit.
Yeah. I mean, it actually, what happened there reminds me a little bit of how things used to be in the 80s and early 90s, like the clutching, the grabbing, the holding, the players having to fight through tooth and nail just to get out of a situation. You know, they're being held and hooked and everything. This was egregious, though. This was he couldn't get off the ice.
So do you guys think next game between those 2 teams, you think, I don't know who the tough guy is on Edmonton, but you think somebody goes after Garland?
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
There's got to be something. It's not going to be Todd Bertuzzi on Steve Moore level of retribution, but there's going to be something.
There are a handful of events that happened in the NHL that you remember where you were when you saw them or heard about them, and the Bertuzzi incident on Steve Moore was one of them for me.
Yeah, I was watching that game live, and
it was on ESPN, right?
Yeah,
was
I was. No, I was watching the Vancouver feed.
Okay,
and it's back the NHL center ice package back in the day. And I was, after that happened, like one of the only times watching hockey that I've actually felt sick to my stomach, like thought I was going to throw up.
That, and then the who was that? The Florida Panther who got his neck slit. Zetnik. Yeah, because I was watching that one live too. That was the same as me. I saw that, and literally, I remember going like this and like grabbing my throat with both hands and just being like, oh my God. And yeah, I mean, stuff like that. Like, that's what makes me scared about getting on the rink sometimes. It's like those thoughts will pop in my head as I'm getting ready to step on the ice rink, and I'm like, oh, I hope I don't get Bertuzzi'd or Zednicked.
What year did the Malarchuk thing happen? Was it early 80s?
86?
It was late 80s.
Late 80s?
Steve Tuttle, yeah. It was the Blues were wearing.
It was 89. Oh wait, 89.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't remember that when it happened. I don't know if that game was on TV here.
It wasn't. It was. That's why. It was radio only, and I remember driving in the car, I forget where we were going, but I remember hearing it while driving in the car with my mom, and they're like, "Oh, this is really bad." And yeah, and then now you can go and find the pictures of it, and
you can see
it's
video.
Crazy, right? And Malarchuk had wound up with the OCD because he was just so paranoid after that,
and he shot himself. He shot himself and lived after that. In 2008.
We talked about who would go after Connor Garland, Darnell Nurse, and of course I forgot Corey Perry. I think one of those guys is going to be going after Connor Garland next game they face each other.
Speaking of Corey Perry, did you see the play last night where he had to sidestep nachos?
Oh my God, that was nuts.
No, I didn't see that.
So yeah, somebody threw their nacho plate on the rink, and it was like as the Oilers were coming into the zone, and so like the pass comes across, and literally it was Perry, right?
Yeah.
Literally Perry like skates like not through them, but like he skates around them without knowing they're there.
Right.
Like
it was almost like he dangled them.
Yeah, his path was insane. Like, he should have stepped on those nachos, but for some reason, he completely avoided them. And yeah, Logan Thompson tried, like, pointing to the nachos after he scored. And
that was a
like,
distraction to me.
I was distracted. It was like, dude, those were on the ice for 5 minutes before
Corey
he skated through.
Corey Perry scores nacho average goal against Capitals.
Yes. That's pretty good.
That's the title of the article.
Yep. That was crazy. I don't think I've seen that before.
No.
Nachos? No, I've seen people throw shit on the ice, but
yeah, not nachos. You don't waste nachos. Come on. Oh, that's a good one. JB35, that's Chris Bray. Donald Brashear getting hit by Marty McSorley. Yeah, that's another one. That was. I did not watch that. I did not watch that one live, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, I remember seeing it on like ESPN Sports Center and just being like,
I was watching that game. That was rough.
Yep,
it's stupid. Just a dumb,
unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah, if I guess if that Malarchuk thing would have been on TV, I would have obviously. Oh my God! But
something I think that I guess we're probably wrapping up here, right?
Yep.
Something we should have mentioned earlier in the show and we didn't was the news out of Blues practice today. I don't know if you guys saw that. From Jeremy Rutherford, friend of the show, Philip Broberg just went down in practice. Looks like no weight on the right leg as he was helped off. And he tweeted later that head coach Jim Montgomery said they will have an update tomorrow. So that does not sound good.
No.
Hopefully it's one of those things where it's sometimes you see guys not be able to put any weight on a leg and then it being okay. But man,
I always go back to Colton Parayko, his rookie year against the Islanders.
Jesus, I thought
that is nuts play. I literally said out loud, I'm like, we won't see him for another year. And he was back. He was back that game.
That next period. It happened right at the end of the period.
Yeah.
And he came back next period. I was like, oh my God. I thought his ankle was like just completely crushed.
Oh, I thought
because it's a twist.
The same thing. Oh. I thought there was a shattered bone in there.
God.
Yeah.
But he came right back. So maybe it was like, maybe he hurt himself and he was like, I don't want to put weight on this. Talking about Broberg. I don't want to put weight on this. Somebody help me off. Let's make sure I'm okay. Maybe that's all it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, yeah, I guess Perunovic is going to be playing, huh?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, we have that to look forward to in the morning skate. Mm-hmm. Ooh, hold your breath. Big game against Vegas on Thursday. Need him.
Yep.
Oh. All right. That'll wrap up episode 17 of season 14 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thank you for listening. And thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Day, I'm Curt Price. Until next time, everyone, let's beat Vegas again. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
How is this the first time this is coming out? Fuck Mark Stone. Let's go Blues.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sports.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win. They'll always get one more, no matter what the score. They are quite a hockey team, my friend.